Helimah,
Hi,
you live in this RV behind you.
I do.
You just robbed.
Just robbed, yeah, by someone I helped out. They just broke in and took certain things, and it's not the first time, it's been several times.
How long have you been homeless?
Almost a year now.
What happened?
My mom passed away, and where I was living was rent control, and they wouldn't take my rent in 2 payments. So, because I was only paying $2,000, when I moved out, they upped the rent to $4,200. And I just had a series of crazy, horrible people to live with, and I decided I'm not going to do that anymore. So, it was when the pandemic money, I bought myself an RV to have a peace of mind.
And what's it like living in an RV? We've been having a few conversations over the phone.
RVs can be cozy, but what people aren't unaware of is that an RV is like a vehicle. So you have to maintain it with gas and maintenance, and it requires water, and the fuel pump has to work, and the generator has to work for energy, and you have to keep your batteries going to charge everything. So it's more than what I anticipated.
And what's it like? I mean, one of the biggest challenges, and we've talked about this, because you didn't have a safe place to park.
No, there's no safe place to park. And I parked because I had some people I knew, but they were on drugs, and you can't always trust people like that, but I had at least some kind of a safety net. But I was too nice and too kind, and did a lot of stupid decisions with people because I didn't know how to be. And I learned a valuable lesson. But over here, where I am right now, it's much better energy.
And you could be in the suburbs and get ripped off by your neighbors who are on drugs.
But it's worse over there because everyone's a hustler.
Yeah.
Everyone's on crystal meth. Everyone's selling crystal meth. They're knocking on my door at 1:30 in the morning, yelling at me through my bedroom window, always asking for sexual favors and coming to do favors. And then when you don't get what they want, they just leave and leave in the middle of doing something. So it's not what I'm used to.
Homelessness. Everybody's in survival mode.
Right.
And when you're talking mental illness and addiction, normal rules don't apply, and you're an attractive single woman out here.
But I think it's more than that. They're out to just take from people. I don't care. They're not mental. They're just not nice people doing wrong things to people and stealing, and they know what they're doing. You know, they choose to live this way because a lot of them are very capable, very smart, but they just want to take and steal and lie and cheat, and they go and they do a thing called mailboxing where they steal people's packages and they think it's fun, and you ruin people's lives when you do that, and I don't approve of that at all. Because my mom dated somebody who took all her money and she got a nervous breakdown. So when people take from other people, you don't know what you've caused that person, that repercussion that you've caused. And you have no right to complain about life because you're part of the problem of life. You need to do things that are positive.
And you were obviously parked in a bad area.
Well, I thought it was parked decent on Venice Boulevard near La Cienega, but apparently you have to be it's full of wolves.
Yeah. Where you parked, and now you're in a much better spot.
Much better spot.
Right.
I can actually work now.
And what do you do?
I've done various things. I've been a nanny. I used to be a script supervisor for the film business. I used to be an Uber driver, a hairdresser, a massage therapist. So right now I'm just trying to find something to do.
Right. And what I was trying to get at is it's just like everything. There's bad areas and there's good areas. And you were parked in a bad area, now you're parked in a good area.
Yeah, I mean, when you're parked in those areas, they try to mess with you to see how you respond. And that was the area that I was in. They were testing me because it's full of gang members.
Right. That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Was it gang members?
Yeah, it was the drifters, and there was another one there. I don't remember their names.
It's got to be really scary being a woman out here with gangs harassing you like that.
Yeah, I mean, to a point. I mean, they're friendly, but you know, I'm strong enough. I do get angry, but I can't carry that anger because they're not afraid of me, so they threaten me. So I just try to stay to myself. And I never left my RV when I was living over there. I rarely ever left. I stayed in all the time.
That's what you mean by now you can work.
Yeah, because I was afraid of someone breaking in.
And now you...
And now I have the opportunity, if I had to, I can work during the day for a few hours and feel safe.
Good. So
Yeah.
what would you want people to know about homelessness? What would you want people to know about what it's like for a woman surviving in an RV that they probably don't know?
What everyone has to realize is that we're all created equal, and each person has a difficulty in life. And just because someone doesn't have money and they're struggling doesn't mean they're not something and they don't have a story. And you gotta have compassion in life. I've lived in Indonesia. I know what it's like to see poverty. You gotta have kindness. Money does not make a person. A person's character, that's what makes a person. And when you live in an RV, I'm glad, because I've learned to toughen up, and this is God's lesson for me, because something bigger is gonna happen that's gonna be great. And so I look at it as a blessing and a lesson.
But that's how you stay positive.
Yeah, you've got to be open-minded. People are just too into themselves and too selfish, and they think that material items make them, and it's not true. It's how you act is what makes who you are.
If you had 3 wishes, what would they be?
For everyone to wake up and to have respect to the fullest and love and understanding, and for everyone to have everything they need and want, and to have some kind of success, and no more pollution, and leave the earth alone.
All great wishes.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for talking to me.
Thank you very much for interviewing me. I appreciate it.